Greetings once again, multiverse soul familia. It's hair day today, so we are getting it in while we launch episode 2 of Thursday's Word on the Streams. So, I'm going to be sitting here washing my hair, but I have also been spiritually led to do a little bit of book scrying today. So, as I go along, I will be reaching for a new earth and just randomly choosing a place to stop in the book. And whatever my finger is led to is what I will read. So, this may be a good time to grab some refreshments, because this is going to be another long one. Alright. I need to just wet my hair. And then we will find a page. I have a lot of hair, so it's going to take a minute. A moment, not an entire minute. Alright. Okay. Let's reach for this book. And we're going to stop right about here. And, okay. From page 216, and finding who you truly are, we have, if you are content with being nobody in particular, content not to stand out, you align yourself with the power of the universe. What looks like weakness to the ego is in fact the only true strength. This spiritual truth is diametrically opposed to the values of our contemporary culture and the way it conditions people to behave. Instead of trying to be a mountain, teaches the ancient Tao, be the valley of the universe. In this way, you are restored to wholeness, and so all things will come to you. Similarly, Jesus is in one of his parables teaches that when you are invited, go and sit in the lowest place, so that when your host comes, he may say to you, "Friend, move up higher." Then you will be honored in the presence of all who sit at the table with you. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. Okay, I'm going to pause there and go into the next stage of washing my hair, and we will go back into a new earth to do a little bit more book scrying for yet another message for the collective in this Word on the Streams. Alright. Before I go into the second conditioning, we're going to do a bit more book scrying. Stopping at page 260. Once you have had a glimpse of awareness or presence, you know it firsthand. It is no longer just a concept in your mind. You can then make a conscious choice to be present rather than to indulge in useless thinking. You can invite presence into your life. That is to say, make space. With the grace of awakening comes responsibility. You can either try to go on as if nothing has happened, or you can see its significance and recognize the arising of awareness as the most important thing that can happen to you. Opening yourself to the emerging consciousness and bringing its light into this world then becomes the primary purpose of your life. Einstein once said, "I want to know the mind of God. The rest are details." What is the mind of God? Consciousness. What does it mean to know the mind of God? To be aware. What are the details? Your outer purpose and whatever happens outwardly. Alright? I feel led to stop there for that particular section. And now I'm going to go back into my hair and I will return with yet another book scrying message. Okay, here we go. Back into a new earth. Awakening to your life's purpose by Eckhart Tolle. Where am I feeling guided to stop now? Right about here. On page 100, role-playing the many faces of the ego. Stopping at page 100, be alert. Are some of the thoughts that go through your mind the internalized voice of your father or mother saying perhaps something like, "You are not good enough. You will never amount to anything," or some other judgment or mental position. If there is awareness in you, you will be able to recognize that voice in your head for what it is, an old thought, conditioned by the past. If there is awareness in you, you no longer need to believe in every thought you think. It's an old thought, no more. Awareness means presence, and only presence can dissolve the unconscious past in you. Ram Dass once said, "If you think you are so enlightened, go and spend a week with your parents." That is good advice. The relationship with your parents is not only the primordial relationship that sets the tone for all subsequent relationships, it is also a good test for your degree of presence. The more shared past there is in a relationship, the more present you need to be. Otherwise, you will be forced to relive the past again and again. Alright, we are rinsing off, and we're going to get in one more book scry from A New Earth, and then we are going to go into the next portion of today's session. Feeling guided to stop right about here at page 154. Popular tabloid press does not primarily sell news, but negative emotion. Food for the pain body. Outrage, screams the 3-inch headline, or Bastards! The British tabloid press excels at this. They know that negative emotion sells far more papers than news does. There is a tendency in the news media in general, including television, to thrive on negative news. The worse things get, the more excited the presenters become. And often the negative excitement is generated by the media itself. Pain bodies just love it. Beloveds, as I was getting out of the shower, it was placed on my heart to not do any further planning than what I have already laid out this morning, and to just let your hair down and just be. So that's what we're going to do. Would you care to join me? We're going to go back into the new earth, or a new earth, to do a little bit more book scrying, and then we're going to go into the cards. So it's only fair that I remove any odd materials that are placeholders. What was meant to be for future lessons. Have been set free. Zero planning. Although I do plan to take these cute little space stickers and add them to my miscellaneous shelf I have going on over here that is meant more for function than design and style. Just saying. And I'm really into that retro 80s and early 90s vibe. Lately, anyways. So, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it here to the studio, to Sissy's spaceship. Alright. Now, let's go. After that little side quest, let's now go back into the book. I'm going to just put my head up and not look at the book, and I'm going to flip until I'm guided to stop, and then I'm going to point just like I did a little bit ago, right about here. Okay. We are at page 266. There are actually some highlights in this one. Oops, I just knocked a card off the top of that deck. What is it? The Ringmaster of Scrutiny. Discernment, clear vision, and details. And the number 9. We are in year 9. Improving on the discernment. Having more clear vision. Yes, with or without the details is what has just been placed on my heart. That is a message for the collective. We're just going to sit that right over here for now and go back into the book. I don't need my second set of eyes up this close. Okay, where my finger stopped. So while your inner purpose is to negate time, your outer purpose necessarily involves future, and so could not exist without time. But it's always secondary. Whenever you become anxious or stressed, outer purpose has taken over, and you lost sight of your inner purpose. You have forgotten that your state of consciousness is primary. All else secondary. Would living like this not stop me from looking to achieve something great? My fear is that I will remain stuck with doing little things for the rest of my life, things that are of no consequence. I'm afraid of never rising above mediocrity, never daring to achieve anything great, not fulfilling my potential. The great arises out of small things that are honored and cared for. Everybody's life really consists of small things. Greatness is a mental abstraction and a favorite fantasy of the ego. Someone needed to hear that today. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Greatness is a mental abstraction and a favorite fantasy of the ego. The paradox is that the foundation for greatness is honoring the small things of the present moment instead of pursuing the ideas of greatness. The present moment is always small in the sense that it is always simple, but concealed within it lies the greatest power. Like the atom, it is one of the smallest things, yet contains enormous power. Only when you align yourself with the present moment do you have access to that power. All right, and now I'm feeling guided to stop there with the book Scrying, and let's take a look a bit more closely at the Ringmaster of Scrutiny. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny. Okay, give me just 1 second, you guys. I don't want to take up too much time on the recording. I will be right back as soon as I have the guidebook. Pause. Okay, here we are. Back in a flash. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny is all about the details. Look closely and pay attention to the smallest elements of what's being presented to you on your path. It's in these details, not the broad strokes, that you'll find the breathtaking beauty and perfection in what you observe. Notice the synchronicity between the last book scrying message from A New Earth and the message from this card. I assure you that was not planned, but I will most certainly drink to it. Cheers. Coconut water. Delicioso. This ally is on your side to point to the deeper meaning of what unfolds in your life. And he reminds you that every moment counts. Staying present in this perfect moment, observing the minute things, leads you to manifest your highest good and greatest desires. Grand gestures are for other times. It's the smallest acts that really count now. So that is the first message for the collective for this session of Word on the Streams. Also unplanned. So, let's go a little further into Wisdom of the Hidden Realms for a bit more of that intel from the streams. We'll call this portion of the message Shadows on the Streams. Ooh, we have the Hawk Prince out. This one has been going viral on this particular channel. We'll just put it that way. This one comes out a lot. About as much as the Winged Wise ones. Perhaps they could be neck and neck. But let's talk about this number 11. This master number 11. Oh, look. 9/11. Some of these messages are going to be a bit of a wake-up call for us today, beloveds. A call for transformation, but also patience in that journey, so that we can tap furthermore, more deeply even, into those intuitions. Getting our clairs up this week was the Monday message, which is our 7-day outlook. And here we are, a few days later, getting that same message. Discernment, clear vision, details, spirit communication, and paying attention, as well as transformation, intuition, and patience. Lucky number 13. You guys know the drill if you've been here long enough. We do already have some palo going on the charcoal. We're going to bring in some of this golden amber, this deep golden amber resin, to ring in these blessings coming in on the streams for this word on the streams. I assure you it is incense. Ooh. Letting go, letting go. Yes. All right. Now that that is soaking, let's grab the bell. This may be a good time to reduce the volume on your listening devices. Beloveds, we're going to count up to 3 and then ring the bell. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's see what our ally, the Hawk Prince, is bringing in and ringing in as the intel for this word on the streams. Good news. But of course, beloveds, we knew this. If we've been here long enough, we knew this. It's great news. Flying into our life to alert us that a message is coming to help us manifest our destinies. Expect a phone call, a letter, email, or conversation that lets you know the next step to take towards your greatest good, or to tell you that you've arrived at an important stage along your path. There's more to this, but give me just one moment. I'm going to get up and close my studio door.
I just sat on my hair. Hold on. All right. The Hawk Prince is also the ally for spirit communication. So pay attention when you think you hear something important pop out at you on the radio, on TV, or in overhearing the conversations of strangers. Spirit is constantly in dialogue with you. Are you listening? Stay open, expect Spirit to speak to you and show you the way to your prosperity in all aspects of your lives. And the Swan Queen. The Swan Queen is ringing in, rolling in as an ally. Oops. This is a goodie. This is a goodie. She glides her way in and asks that we look at our reflection in the events of our lives, giving us the ability to see the beauty that has transformed our lives from ignorance to wisdom. The Swan Queen lets us know that it's time to go within and seek the answers with our own intuitions. Spirit communication. Not paying attention to what's going on out there, but within. Beautiful. The power of psychic perception is inherent in you, and the Swan Queen will help you dive deep into your query to find the answers you seek. This is also a reminder to allow time to transform ideas into reality. Nothing happens overnight. No, but as we have demonstrated and witnessed together, some early morning predictions can come into fruition by that blue hour we know as twilight. For some of you, that Friday and that blue hour haven't met you yet. But there is to come a time, perhaps even this week, that something will come through for you around the blue hour. More particularly on a Friday. But it can be any day of the week, but feel like a Friday. And that's what has just been placed on my heart. Nothing happens overnight. Patience, grasshopper. Patience. All right. Feeling guided to stop there with Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. Now, let's go into the Shadow Work deck. This custom limited edition Shadow Work deck. Which you can get one of your own at concreteshamans.com. For a limited time, once these are gone, they're gone. They do have a new edition that is more tarot size But yes, the limited edition is where it's at. Let's see what else is coming from the shadows along the streams on this beautiful day we know as Thursday, May 22nd, another master number, 22. Intel from the shadows on this Thursday. Word on the streams. Word on the streams. One more pass. But it really does look like what's on the table is all there is going to be, as it's already been placed on my heart accurately. So we have, interestingly, we have political, 3 cards, 3 from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, and now 3 from the Concrete Shamanism Shadow Work deck. Political. We have Insecure, but it's in reverse. And Understanding. Oh, look. The number 3. 3, 3, 3. I already know this, but I love showing these cards. 333 has been so consistent lately. I mean, I found out why on my own personal end by finding out that a family member who called around the blue hour on a Friday and said, oh, guess who's 3 months pregnant? The same day I predicted it, it came into fruition. Why? We always knew we had the potential. And we have the potential for more. But remember, part of the lesson is to not focus on that greatness aspect of being, because that is the playground for the ego. That greatness. I'm the greatest there ever was at anything and everything that I do. Says who besides the ego, right? Your chance to reach your highest of potentials is here. Perseverance has gotten you to where you are. You've been through so much, and this guidance is here to show you that you are exactly where you need to be. And the affirmation for 333 is, my potential is infinite. I use my strength as my ally to pursue my highest good. Notice nowhere in there it says anything about greatness. It was just placed on my heart to say, let that greatness reside in the Creator. And you and I and the collective, we just focus on being that higher version or versions of ourselves in authenticity. And so it is. Okay. Now, let's take a look at what this political card means in terms of word on the streams. I still have a long way to go memorizing this deck because it's not just a deck. It's a guide that has like cards for illustrations at the same time. Like there's a lot of structure and clear vision and detail, discernment even, that was put into it. As well as that patience from the Swan Queen. Number 35. This is a leader card. Believe it or not. Word on the streams is the collective has been skillfully navigating the complexities of group dynamics, institutions, or governance with the intent to affect change or maintain harmony. So, in a nutshell, it's telling us that we have been on board with welding harmonious influence in our circle or circles. I connect with people from all kinds of places, all kinds of walks of life, and I don't ever see that when I connect with them. I don't see the differences. All I see is beauty and love. Even on the off moments and off days. As we continue to transcend our false selves and temper the ego, eventually all we see is love. Even when it sounds a little too lollipops and rainbows to some people, we do it anyway. We give no shifts what they have to say. They cannot tell us who we are or what we are. No one can. Once we know our true selves, beloveds, no one can get away with trying to tell us who we are. And, as a matter of fact, as I get a little political here, as it almost sounded a bit like a political debate for a moment, I stand 10 toes down. No one gets to tell us who we are. Prompting us to consider our political savvy. Are we adept at navigating complex social dynamics and institutional structures, or do we struggle with political interactions and power plays? Not up in here. This card encourages us to develop an understanding of politics, both professional and social contexts, and to use this understanding in a way that is respectful and ethical. Okay, respectfully and ethically, my no means no. Not up in here and never again. Will anybody tell us who we are? Nor can they, because they don't know. Walk a mile in these Louboutins. They don't make the shit where I'm from. I'm not hating, I'm just telling you. They don't give a f about what we've been through. I'll stop there because there's a lot of cuss words in that song. And I'm like trying to figure out how to flow with the bleeps and the blurps and the beep beeps and ooga oogas when there's a shift or a flux going on, right? Yeah. Or when our jar of shifts and fluxes ran all out and we have none left to give. That part. Yes. How do we weld influence in our circles? Is the question. Well, what we're not doing is manipulating and self-serving agendas. However, I do like that bit of an inquiry that comes with the shadow aspects of this card. And I did say from the shadow. Although I read what was originally placed on my heart. So it was meant for us to hear at this time as well. When have I felt insignificant or overlooked? That's coming from the shadow. And that is a question for you, beloveds. Now let's take a look at insecure in reverse. And number 30, a vagabond, paralysis, allowing insecurities to impede progress, decision making, or personal growth. And the inquiry for this message on the streams from the shadow is, how can I bolster my confidence? Are we afraid of making commitments? This card asks us to consider our insecurities and self-doubts, those low-level spirits of self-doubt. Are we afraid of commitments and forming relationships or taking on responsibilities due to deep-seated insecurities? This card encourages us to explore these insecurities, understanding them as part of our human experience, but not letting them limit us or our potential. There's already been mention of our potential. See the beauty that has already transformed our lives. The beauty of our patience with the Swan Queen and transformation. Transformation. Overcoming these insecurities. Somehow gaining a deeper understanding. Like the depth in her eyes. So soft, yet so animated. The look, the kind of look that could make a self-proclaimed Sigma shaking their boots. Claim it. Number 3. Beautiful. This is goddess archetype. In the upright, deep empathy and insight into others' feelings, showcasing a profound connection and emotional intelligence. This card calls us to show empathy, to try to understand perspectives different from our own. It asks us to delve into our unconscious biases, attitudes, or preconceived notions that prevent us from truly understanding others. The understanding goddess encourages open-mindedness, curiosity, and a willingness to learn. And look at her peeking around the corner from behind herself. Isn't that interesting? Look at the sink. Here and here. So we have a frontal and a profile of this lovely goddess archetype. Gazing deep into the cosmos, she comprehends the silent cries of every star. Wow. What a message from that card. Wow. Okay. Okay, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Oh, look. All 3. Get this. All 3 of the cards that came from the shadow work deck have a number 3. Something significant could be occurring in the next 3 days. We still have 3 days left in this week because Sunday is technically the first day of the week. Something could come through on another day that has the number 3. Something could also come through for you on the 3rd of next month, because June will be the next month where we will be seeing the 3rd. But also we still have the 23rd, the 30th, and the 31st of May also having a 3 in the number. So there's just something about this particular month all the way across the board that is so significant to the collective. And I'm not getting anything negative like drama, like fighting over the wrong things, third-party situations. Like, homie, don't play that. We're not doing that. But yes, 3s are most certainly significant here. So, you can divide the number 9 by 3, but also look at these cards. We have 13 and 11, right? But look, if you add the 1s, 1, 2, 3, you have 3. And then if you were to take this one and add it to the 2 to make that a 3, over here we would still have a 3. So there is still some major significance in the number 3, which has me curious. Like, let's reach for the Woodland Wardens, okay? This is so random and spontaneous because remember, we're Team Chill Timeline, and this session of Word on the Streams is not turning out to be anything like the last session, which was also our first episode ever of Word on the Streams, exclusively for Soul Stars of TVF, this channel, because I came up with it all on my own. Anyways, since threes are so relevant, we're going to go, it'd probably be easier to just go into the guidebook and see what the third card would be, which is, or the number 3 rather, because the Mouse and Buttercup is actually number 0. So they're respectfully honoring the number 0 in this deck. The card that is number 3 is the Hare and the Oak. So let's look for the Hare and the Oak. And then we will share the message, the word on the streams from the Hare and the Oak. Word on the streams from the Hare and the Oak. The Hare and the Oak. New opportunities involving 3 or more people. That's it. This is like the kind of third-party situations we actually want in our lives. Collaborations of a team of no less than 3. No less than 3. Because look, there are way more than 3 acorns in this image. So between 3 to, hold on, 3 to 7 people forming some kind of team. Of course, it's going to mean a little something different for everyone. But 3 to 7 people are going to be involved in some kind of new opportunity that's opening up for everyone involved. Beautiful. All right. I'm actually just going to place the rest of this deck back in the box because we're not doing 3 cards from this deck. We're going to do something different. As we keep this trend going, and we're going to reach for yet another deck. And what we're meant to hear from another deck. Right now, it's the Hare and the Oak and new opportunities with the number 3. Since this number is so stinking significant, don't ask me why I just did that. In the upright, a celebration of good fortune is in order. If you've been in a caregiving role, this is a reminder that your sacrifices will be repaid. Whoa. I've shared tidbits in chat about my past. Not only have I been a caregiver, I grew up around caregivers. In every generation in my family, there has been at least one home health aide, doula, midwife, nurse. One of my grandmas is a retired nurse as well. The most recent gig that I did was actually hospice. I was a DEATH, doula. And it only took a handful of experiences to hang up that coat. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. Oh, I don't even want to go there right now. Because I went through all those emotions and I still got robbed. Like, you get paid well to do that kind of work. And all of it stripped before I had a chance to do anything with it. So, yes, bittersweet. So bittersweet. Wow. Anyways, I don't think that that's the new opportunity for the collective. Although I do think that offering some kind of care to others is relevant. And we have been laser focused on sessions pertaining to how and in what ways we can be a beacon of hope and a lighthouse for others. Well, clearly, it's been falling into alignment, and furthermore presenting even more opportunities. Beautiful. And there's always more. Representing springtime. And here in the northern hemisphere, we are still in spring. Yes. What can we do to celebrate today? And what exciting opportunities should we follow up on? You know, we don't have to go back into the same hat or jacket, so to speak, to utilize that skill set. The interpersonal and the golden nuggets of wisdom that come from these different ways that we have put ourselves out there throughout life, and incorporate them like a portfolio, but not one that we would like put on display necessarily as if we're trying to get hired for a job. We're already doing what we love and loving what we do. We can now incorporate and integrate through some of this reflection the reflection that furthermore promotes integration, that furthermore promotes transformation, enhancing our intuitions so that we may continue to be better discerners with more clear vision. Sometimes we can just look at something or someone or a situation and just know the details. And be on alert. Just like the rabbit. And they know how to communicate in code. Interesting. So, a season of birth and abundance. There's more about birth. So like I was saying a little bit ago, for the majority of us in the collective, it's not about actually like getting pregnant. We have refreshing new ideas on ice. But the transformative aspects had to go through us first. And then this birth and abundance of these refreshing new ideas. Where does the birth come from? I keep wanting to say rebirth, but that's not what I mean, although it may feel like it. Transformative can make one assume like, but this is brand spanking new. I understand with every moment it is like a rebirth. But this is something so just, like a unicorn. So rare. But so all-encompassing at the same time. Solid. These refreshing ideas are also going to be solid ideas, is what was just placed on my heart because of the oak. The oak. Because this isn't just about the rabbit, it's also about the oak. Interestingly enough, I'm currently writing a book about another creature's symbiotic relationship with an acorn. So, perhaps it's time to start working on that some more. But ultimately what's happening here is that these refreshing ideas are going to start out from what seems to be like one central place, which would be you or me or whoever's listening. But it's going to be expanded on by anywhere between 3 to 7 people. And that's why the 9 and the 11 appeared out together today. A urgent message with the 9 and the 11 leading to what? This number 13 also stands for transformation. Wow. So it's all coming together. All right, let's reach for another deck. Okay, we're going to reach for this one. This is the Mystical Shaman. The Mystical Shaman. And we're going to see what the third card is. I believe... Oh, I can't really say what the third card is. It's like I already have a hunch in my mind, but I'm not going to say. The Arrow. The Arrow has been so significant in so many different messages from so many different directions, people, places, and things and situations that aren't even directly connected. The Arrow is so significant right now. If you've been tuning in regularly, you've been getting almost daily messages about the significance of the Arrow showing up in different decks with the Cupid. I'm hearing If you don't shoot, you won't score. But be sure you're aiming towards your true north. Yes, I did just come up with that. I mean, it was placed on my heart. So I didn't come up with that. My spirit guides did. They're truly the jazzy one. I'm just a messenger. Ooh, just the messenger. Yes. Just the messenger. The voice. We are the voice. The arrow, number 3. Receiving this symbol reminds us that when we are in alignment with our heart and soul, we are on target and will soon be hitting our mark. Be true to your calling, releasing attachments, and freeing ourselves from the bondage of unbridled ambition. Now is revealed to be a moment of contact in which your intention meets the material world. Confirmation! Not only is it reaching the material world, but you're going to have a team. You're going to have a small but precious group of people. 3 to 7 people coming together. Because we're coming into alignment. We are being true to our calling. We have been releasing attachments. We have been freeing ourselves from the bondage of unbridled ambition. Now is revealed to be a moment of contact in which our intentions meet the material world. Multiple cards have been saying that opportunity, we're not seeking opportunities like desperate opportunists. Opportunity is seeking us. Opportunity is seeking us. The only thing that we have yet to set free is our creativity. Set free our creativity. Your creativity free. And with the invitation, the arrow zings through the air. It is inviting us to pay attention and signifying that we are about to make our mark in some aspect of our lives. It illuminates the moment of contact when you know that your desires and intentions have traveled on the wind and landed in the perfect place for your highest good. Trust that your job is to be relaxed yet focused. Keep your eye on the prize, yet releasing your intention with full expectation that it will land as it is supposed to. Don't worry about the how or the exact form. This is not a time to interfere with the manner in which the arrow flies. It will make its mark, and you will have cause to celebrate. Celebrating a destination unknown. And that's okay. It's okay to celebrate a destination unknown. And that is the message. Thank you so very much, Multiversal Soul Familia, for tuning in for this Thursday Intel Word on the Streams session. Number 2 W is in the bag. Yes. Celebrate this Thursday. Celebrate that destination unknown. And I want to thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Chakra to your brightest of blessings.